and Brock coming up.
We talked about it. PSAC matchup. We've got it back here. Zemenak was your winner on mat 2, our first bout of the day. We've got him taking on Brock Zacherl of Clarion. Zacherl, in the graphics, it's going to be switched. Zacherl's in the red, Zemenak in the blue. And Brock Zacherl was a guy who really had a good university national tournament in Akron. Tech fall over DiCamillo, beat Kreiser about 8-2, 8-3. Non-stop motorist guy, likes a sweep single. And these guys, Zacherl you would think is going to wrestle 41, but this summer he's wrestled 61 kilos. He's wrestling 60 here. Zemenak has been your 33-pounder at Bloomsburg, taking the red shirt this year. So it'll be interesting to see if these guys both end up at 33 or 41 in the next couple years.
You mentioned the single leg. Zacherl in on the single leg, gets the takedown. Nice work there from him to open things up. We're 45 seconds in.
Zemenak swims out of that bar. We're going to go back up to our feet.
Zacherl coming forward again. Zemenak underhook now, right side. Zacherl circles out of it. I don't know if it appears this way to you, but Zacherl looks to have a little bit of size advantage. You mentioned thought he was going to be 41. He looks pretty big for this weight class.
And that was some of the talk in the preview I wrote up. You know, he wrestled 41. There's a nice throw by Zemenak. He's going to get your takedown. He ties it up at 2.
Yeah, Zacherl's aggressiveness went against him in that scenario.
But I talked about it. You know, he looked pretty good. A lot of his big matchups at universities came on day 2. So he was 36, 40 hours out from a weigh-in. Now he's less than 24 and down another kilogram. As we say that, he's back up ahead 4-2 on the board with the takedown.
Yeah, when he's elected to go with that single leg, it looks sharp. I mean, it looks really crisp. And Zemenak, it's like he's got nothing for it. He just basically bails out, giving up 2 takedowns already. We've got 1 minute left here in the first. Winner gets Anthony Giraldo or Colton McChrystal, which I don't believe they've wrestled just yet.
And they're actually going to be next on our mat.
Oh, very nice.
So both quarterfinals here in the bottom half of 60 kilograms going to be on mat 2. We'll have our semifinalists set.
And also, I believe we're going consolations now on mat 3 and sticking championship matches on mats 1 and 2 moving forward. And Zacherl again on the single leg, going out of bounds. It looks like confirmed will be 2 points.
Zemenak looking for the angry bird to come out.
And that's going to be 2 points all day. They're not going to overturn this. He's obviously looking for the 1 point.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a clear, as you would consider in folk style, a controlled takedown. But in freestyle, that's called 2 all day. It's going to be 7-2.
And you especially see that when it's being attacked to the boundary line.
Right.
You know.
That's the specific scenario I'm thinking of. When you go out of bounds, if you're even covering a guy, not necessarily have control of the guy, like we saw, he's on the single leg going out of bounds, but he was on top of him. That's going to be 2 points.
And that's part of, you know, control, our folk style mentality. You know, we see and we look for folk style control, and it's not what they're looking for here.
It's absolutely a 180 as far as control terms is concerned, which I'm okay with. You know, but I've been ingratiated into the freestyle mindset. You know, and it's hard for some fans to get into that and understand why, but I mean.
And hey, we got the World Championships here in Las Vegas in September. You know, start brushing up on your freestyle because it is the premier wrestling event.
I mean, I've been to 2 now. Went 2 years ago in Budapest. Went last year in Tashkent. And the level of wrestling that's going to be in Las Vegas is unparalleled. I know you've been to the NCAA tournament. You think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But let me tell you, if you don't go to this World Championships, or at least have an interest, you're not a wrestling fan.
And as we talked about, you were right. 2 all day long, confirmed on the review. 1 point goes up on the board for the lost challenge. Zacherl leads 7-2.
Yeah, and he's in complete control of this match as we're heading to the break. We've got about 10 seconds left. And I really like what I'm seeing from Brock Zacherl. Effective on his takedowns. And Zemenak going to have to make some adjustments, you know. Really, his only takedown came off the aggressiveness of Zacherl, who opened up his underhook.
And so now, you see, Zacherl's been warned a couple times about the hands to the head, and they're trying to get some clarification over there in the corner.
Right. I mean, in freestyle, you typically don't see the over-aggressiveness being rewarded by the officials. That's just the polite way of putting, don't get too feisty out there. So they'll warn you. They'll try to simmer you down and keep things kosher between the two athletes. And now Zacherl again in on the shot attempt.
And it's that little stutter step. He gives that in and out. You think he's coming with a fake. It looked like he wanted to go double, transitions off nicely to that head inside single. This is the step out scenario that we've seen called a little bit inconsistently.
Right. Absolutely. What I saw at universities, Rossi Bruno comes to mind. He had that single leg against Earl Hall, and they go out of bounds. They called it no points.
I saw Thomas Gant have the same thing earlier in the day, and that's great that we're seeing the single leg rewarded here with that step out.
If you're in on a shot and you drive a guy out of bounds, you need to get some points. Okay, that's bottom line. And now I love what I'm seeing from Zacherl here. He's up by 5 starting the period. He's in on the single leg, gets the push out. Now he gets the double leg takedown. He is still firing, and he's 2 points away from the tech fall. Was inches there from getting the exposure. But that's what you got to do. It's mentality, offensive, aggressive. That's what you like to see, especially in this freestyle scenario.
And it's that juke step, stutter step. He gets guys. He may not be overly explosive whenever he does go, but that juke and that stutter throws guys timing off, and he's able to get to the legs consistently.
These are the World Team Trials for United World Wrestling Junior, age group 17 to 20 years old.
Now, what I would like to see out here, finish this match off. Go get your takedown. Get off the mat a little bit early.
Absolutely.
Don't let Zemenak get back in this match.
That's something to keep in mind, you know, as we approach the World Championships. Getting tech falls is big because you don't get a lot of rest time, especially at the World Championships. But even here today, you're not going to get a lot of rest time in between matches. So the sooner you can get off the mat, the better for you. The more juice you're going to have come the end of the day, which is the most important matches of the day, you know, obviously. So you're correct. Would like to see Zacherl get the takedown and finish this thing off. But Zemenak, he's fighting hard. He's going for the single leg here, trying to step around behind. We saw him score with this exact move earlier in the tournament, his first match. Now he elevates. Really needs to look for here, try to get some exposure on a trip. He's going to get 1 point on a push out, step out by Zacherl. So 10-3 on the board.
Zemenak picks up 1 point on mat 2.
And Zemenak, he's starting to open up now, getting on that single leg, which you probably would have liked to see, you know, a couple minutes ago in this match, because it appears he's got some openings.
And it's talking about that difference in folk style defense, freestyle takedown as a takedown. Well, Zacherl gets that closed whizzer. Closed whizzer is not all that effective in freestyle, and especially when a guy's able to get that up to the feet, walk you out of bounds for the step out, and you know, a lot of your defending situations are going to put you in exposure situations. So that closed whizzer not as effective in freestyle.
And so that's going to be the match. 10-3, Brock Zacherl takes it. He advances to the semis at 60 kilos here in the challenge bracket. And he will face the winner of our next match, Anthony Giraldo and Colton McChrystal.
Quarterfinal winner at 60 kilos.
And it looks like we have a wild one on